There we go. So, what a nice, bright, sunny day. Full of dreams and carb depletion. If you can't already tell just by how I'm speaking right now. But anyways, this is probably going to be, I don't want to say the toughest, but the most digging that I'm going to do as far as training intensity goes. So obviously we're on a cut right now, and we had a pretty dramatic drop in our carbs this week. And so going into training, it is, you're not going to have the same strength, you're not going to have the same intensity, all these different variables that you don't usually have. So we have legs today, and that's for me, it's going to be, legs are already exhausting even with a ton of carbs. So this is just going to be kind of an interesting day, to say the least. At least we have quite a bit of time to dedicate to legs. I got off of work early today, so we're just going to freaking cruise with legs. I'm talking leg extension, inner thigh machine, leg curl, not a stiff leg deadlift yet, not with my lower back injury, but what we will do is just spam leg extensions, inner thigh, leg curl, and then maybe hip thrust, but I've been slowly progressing on lunges these past couple leg workouts, but that's probably going to change today, just because, don't have as many carbs, don't have as much energy. So that is where we're freaking landing right now. But anyways, legs are going to be fun today. Meditations have been going really well. I would say that the most fun part of the meditations recently is just, not giving a fuck like that much, that's kind of my main philosophy pretty recently. It's like you just, you kind of see, or like for me, I notice I'm a happy person who has fun with life, and you just don't need to care, caring is definitely necessary, but taking life too seriously, that is not my bread and butter. That's just not fun to me. And so that's kind of where I'm coming from right now, where I'm just in that middle ground of, just enjoying the different trials and tribulations, and then I don't know, just having fun with it, because why not? We're freaking living right now. That is a blessing in and of itself. Biggest gift I could ever ask for is to wake up with a healthy body and a sound mind. Those two, oh dude, we are freaking cooking. But anyways, we have legs today, so I'm just gonna get in the freaking zone. But as far as the weight goes, crazy. Most of this is carbs, but I am feeling a little tighter, just as far as my arms and my waist goes. Just not as much body fat. That's kind of how I'm seeing it right now. But yeah, so weight on Sunday was 226, and it's now Wednesday. I last weighed in at 217, so we've lost nearly 10 pounds. A lot of that's just water weight, carbs, other stuff. But yeah, it's the ratio from carb to water is for every gram of carbs, you hold, I think it's anywhere from 2 to 3 grams of water. And so when you have that big of a carb depletion, you're gonna have a pretty dramatic water depletion as well. So that being said, we're just gonna get in the friggin' zone right now, just lock in. That's pretty much it. Yeah, not much else to say. Let's just freaking get to it.
And a little more. Oh my. Oh. Yeah, that's good. Let's see how full stack treats us. Yeah, that's good. All right, let's take a peek at how we're looking. We are definitely way flatter than usual, but that is what's freaking necessary. I am pretty much hungry on a moment by moment basis. It's not nearly as bad as it would be on prep, but it's definitely noticeable. It's almost like right as I finish my meal, freaking hungry again. So gotta appreciate it when you have like a full bulk going, just as far as the, not being too hungry. But we are sitting at, I think this morning I was about 217, 216. So let's just, it's a little slanted, but yeah, so be it. All right, let's, there we go, yeah. All right, let's see how the legs are looking and the whole physique. So I want to compare this next ab shot from now until like a little over 2 weeks from now, just to see how big of a difference we can make.
All right, so yeah, leg workout complete. That was a freaking, that was gnarly. Just in the sense that, we, of course, very low on carbs, but we still brought it. We basically just did leg extension, inner thigh machine, prone or like laying leg curl, and then we finished off with some hip thrusts, which I haven't done in a while, so that was freaking nice. But yeah, so that being said, that was a really good freaking workout. I think I might have overdone it on the cardio just a touch, because that was insane. I did 30 minutes of stairs at level 7, which I haven't done in a while. And my whole thought process behind that was do a little more intense cardio so I don't need to do as long, because what I'm supposed to be doing right now is 30 minutes treadmill flat in the morning, and then 30 minutes flat treadmill post-workout after, evening. So the issue with the treadmill that I have at home is, even when it's at no incline whatsoever, it's still, it reads 0 incline on the actual treadmill, but it's still at a slight incline. So I've tried doing my cardio with that, and if I didn't have this lower back injury, that would be freaking sweet to have. But that's just not the case. I don't have the bandwidth to do it. Just as far as it'll just hurt my back a little too much, I've noticed. And so that's just kind of that's the reality right now. But stairs, I was a little wary going into stairs, but it turned out to be a really good alternative. There were times where I had to kind of brace my core to just stay upright, but it wasn't anything crazy on my lower back, because the way I do stairs is, I guess my rule for any cardio machine, except for elliptical, is I don't use my hands at all. Whether it's bike, treadmill, or stairs, I'm just freaking just staying right there without any use of my hands. So stairs, I would say that's the biggest test as far as not using hands or anything, because you can get into the habit of just kind of doing that whole lean over onto the stairs, which there's nothing wrong with that, but you might be missing out on the amount of cardio that you're doing if you're just leaning on the rails for the stairs. So that being said, that was a good freaking cardio session, but I don't think I've had an intense cardio session like that in a while. It was a lot of my nervous system, I will say that. And that's the one thing that I kind of need to look out for, just because I want my nervous system doing most of the work during the lift. Cardio is just kind of one of those extra things, it burns calories, but it's mainly for heart health. It's mainly just to kind of keep an even rhythm going throughout the day. Just so, also during the lift, I'm not going to be panting, running out of breath if I'm doing high volume on a set. So that's just something to look out for. But I don't think I overdid it too much, maybe just a touch. We'll have to see for tomorrow, because I always notice if I overdo it on cardio in the lift the day after. So we'll see during my chest workout tomorrow. Thankfully, chest is pretty freaking easy to get one, to be sore, but just to like get it extremely pumped, you know, one set of presses, one set of flies, I'm freaking good to go. That is like, I have a solid chest pump from that. But that being said, meditation's been going extremely well. I don't know, just steady chugging away. Not really much else to add to that. Like, once you have like a simple system down for your meditations, that's it. Like, you're freaking good to go. Like, you don't really need to push it too much, or you don't need to like change things up too much. That's what I meant to say. If you have something that's working, and that has definitely been working. It's been really nice just to kind of have something stable, because, you know, like I don't know if you've, like, in past vlogs that I've had, I've talked about like associating the mantra with something that's really positive. Like, for me, it's like getting a pump in the gym. You know, it's like, for the meditation, it's like giving your mind a pump, like, so to speak. I mean, I'm just not really too privy to that recently, just because for the meditation, for me, I want to keep it as simple as possible. Like, all I'm doing is just redirecting my attention gently to the mantra. And, you know, if I think about like, oh yeah, I gotta get a mind pump, go back to the mantra, then that's just another thought. Like, that's just another distraction thrown in the mix. As good as it may be at, you know, redirecting my attention, it's still just not the same as literally just doing the thing and redirecting my attention. And there's a good, like, philosophical point behind that, where it's like, if you really want to just achieve anything, just freaking do it, you know? Like, have a game plan, a solid game plan for something that works for you, and then just freaking do it. Like, there's not really much else. Like, you can't really outwit your way around just freaking doing it. And that really goes for pretty much anything. Like, if you want to lose fat, just stick to your caloric deficit, train, keep the muscle. That's pretty much it. Like, there's nothing like magic about any of this. Like, it's really just having a solid plan and sticking to it and just doing it day in and day out. And that's where, like, I think if you can find something that you really enjoy and practice that on the daily, that will just help you even further. Like, if you really just don't freaking like going to the gym, like, you're like, fuck man, like, I don't want to go. Like, I don't want to do this today. I mean, I think it'll really help if you kind of have something you really enjoy, almost as like a reward for going to the gym. You know, like if you really love playing video games, freaking play some video games, but make it, you know, like a contingency. Like, you're gonna go to the gym just so long, or you're other way around. You're gonna play your video games, but just so long as you get a good solid workout in. And that's not like going for like a leg day and doing like 2 sets of leg extension. No. Like, you will know, like, if you're honest with yourself, you will know if you really put enough work in so that you're making progress. And that's pretty much, that's just about it. You don't really have to like overcomplicate it that much. Like, it just comes down to freaking doing the work. But that being said, like, also having hobbies and stuff you really enjoy, that's what's gonna make it sustainable. So that's just kind of my thing. Yeah, I don't really need motivation for the gym. Like, I've always just freaking loved going, and I don't know, like, training is just fun to me. I will say the tougher part for me is my business, and like just having a solid plan and sticking to it, because that's the thing that I really do love and I really do enjoy. But I mean, I guess I'm kind of like at that point where I just need to set like a training plan, but just for the business. You know, it's kind of like if I really want, like my whole goal this year is to help 100 athletes achieve their fitness goals. That's it. That's freaking it. So I think, you know, I'm probably going to get the most reach from ads and from content and stuff like that. And so that's kind of where I need to center my focus. And it's just, you know, really pumping out good content, great ads, and then just trying to help as many people as possible. But anyways, that's pretty much freaking it for today. That was the close gym. That's why that drive was so freaking short. But yeah, like I said, we have freaking chess tomorrow. So I'll probably see you, man. I've been at these different jobs, so I can't really film any of my meditations because it's not like a very orderly thing. Like I don't know, like, okay, I'm going to be in this classroom, so I can set up my camera this way. You know, it's different every day. So probably won't be filming the meditation tomorrow, but we will definitely be hitting some chest tomorrow. So that being said, I'll freaking see you for that nasty chest pump.